Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we pulled some pranks with Sarah. We made sure that Cullen is doing okay after, he confided in us about his struggles with lyrium addiction and all of that. Now, I just want to see if Cullen has anything else to say. We did catch Carol a couple of episodes ago, so you'd think he'd have something to say about that.
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
They're not willing. Corypheus is cunning. They were desperate. And yeah, I think this is what Aenor is holding on to. If they knew the truth, if they knew who was manipulating them, that the calling wasn't real, then they never would have gone so far. They never would have resorted to, killing each other with blood magic and all of that.
Not by choice. They were manipulated by Corypheus.
I'm not sure that's a comfort. The Inquisition must serve as an example. We must stand where others fall.
Anything I should know? No, we're not going to ask that yet. Anything you want to tell us about?
May I ask you something?
Of course.
Okay. A few things to talk with Cullen about. Any plans for after the Inquisition?
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
Fair. Is your family doing all right?
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
What exactly do you mean by tracking you down?
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
She sounds like a cracking lady. She really does. I'd like to meet Cullen's family. This seems like quite a loaded question, so we'll save it till last.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have chosen to leave that life, but I respect those who remain. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
Well, what's the answer then?
What would you suggest?
Some call the Circle a prison that can only breed resentment. Perhaps opportunities to work outside the Circle. A mixed military service or healers' clinics with Templar support. And there must be a safer way for Templars to leave. Templars can lose their memories to lyrium. Some call it a gift, to forget the failed harrowings, the demons. Some atrocities haunt me still. But to lose what good I can recall, I nearly lost my mind once. It is no gift.
Would your idea work? That's not a bad idea. I've said this before. Aenor's opinion is that the circles are necessary because mages need to be amongst their own kind. They need people who can understand the struggles they are going through, because Aenor can't. Cullen can't. Cassandra can't. Sarah most definitely can't. Like, the average person will never understand the threats that mages face on a day-to-day basis, but other mages can. They need that community. They need that feeling of belonging. However, circles should never be prisons. They should never be, trapped there, relegated there. They need to be more like schools. They need to be more like schools where they can go over the summer, and then they spend, the winter holidays with their family, so that they still have ties to the community and, their homes, their families, their friends. And, the idea of, like, a mixed military service, healers clinics with Templar support, I think Ayn will be like, that is actually I approve of those things. Those are some really good things. And help for Templars when they want to leave the Order. Yeah. Yeah, those are all really good ideas. The reasons why I'm kind of not immediately going for this one, the circles can still work. I read that as very negative. It's like, oh, your ideas are stupid. The circles are fine the way they are. And Aenor does not believe the circles are fine the way they are, so I'm not inclined to go with that. I'm kind of drawn to this because ultimately Aenor is an outsider. She's Dalish. She has thoughts and opinions on the circle. She has very strong thoughts and opinions. But ultimately, that isn't her culture. That's not her people. Here's the thing. She's from the Free Marches. How many people would consider her a marcher? They wouldn't. They'd consider her Dalish, first and foremost. So, she has ideas, but she doesn't know if those ideas would work. A lot of what Cullen is saying is kind of aligning with what Aenor thinks. So I think she'd be inclined to ask him, oh, do you think this would work? Because if your ideas would work, then there's a strong possibility that my ideas would work.
Do you think that could work? Would people accept it?
Mages would be watched, but could pursue interests outside the circle. Neither freedom nor prison. I don't know.
That's the thing, though. They do deserve freedom. Everyone deserves freedom. No one deserves to be imprisoned for simply being born a certain way. That's stupid. So yeah, Cullen's going in the right direction. He just needs to go a wee bit further. I think Aenor is thinking.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
Meredith was extremely wrong.
You said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages in Kirkwall. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far I would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
It wasn't your fault. I hope I'm a better leader. People died for that. Oh. Again, I am kind of drawn to this. I spoke about this at length in the last episode, but Cullen does remind me of real-world people who, suffered, or their family members suffered at the hands of, a specific group, and they mistakenly came to the conclusion, oh, all members of this group are like them. They end up joining some hate organization and then years later realize, oh, that was real fucking dumb. I need therapy. Like, my anger is not sated. I am still very much in pain. Like, I need therapy. It wasn't every single member of this group. It was a few dickheads. Here's the thing. On one hand, I am like, to be fair, Meredith wasn't wrong about blood mages in Kirkwall. But again, that wasn't the mage's fault. Kirkwall is built on a massive blood ritual that causes mages to go slowly insane and turn to blood magic. So it's... On one hand, yeah, Meredith was right, but it wasn't because of the mages. It was because of the Tevinters who built the city. And then she got further corrupted by the Red Lyrium statue that made her paranoid. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Meredith was right. She wasn't. She absolutely wasn't. But there was method to her madness. If you kind of get what I'm saying. It wasn't like a, oh, la 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 la, I'm normal, and now I'm stark raving mad. Boo! Like, it was like a slow, gradual decline with various things that made perfect sense as to why she'd go so far. You know, the blood magic, the red lyrium, the Templars beginning to distrust her, the people in the city, you know, beginning to distrust her, Grand Cleric Elfina being a bitch. You know, it was like a steady slope where you could pinpoint each little drop in her sanity, each event that would spark a terrible change. I don't think she'd be so harsh as to say people died for that, because here's the thing, Aenor wasn't there. Aenor can't really say what happened in Kirkwall because she was not there. She did not see it firsthand. And this... Yeah, oh, I hope I'm a better leader. Again, it just doesn't sound like Aenor. I think she does have a tendency of giving people the benefit of the doubt. I do think that she thinks that if Cullen maybe had picked up on those warning signs, maybe he would have done something sooner, maybe.
You can't control everything. You stood up to her in the end.
If I hadn't, would I be like her now? I wanted mages locked away as much as she did. I trusted they were treated reasonably well, but I should have done more. I should have looked into it. It's not yet enough. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will see it through.
I do think it speaks well of him that even when he's faced with someone saying, oh, it's not your fault, you're being too hard on yourself, he's like, no, I should have done more. I wanted the mages locked away just as badly. Like, I was just as bad as Meredith. I should have done more. I should have looked into it. I failed in so many ways. I do think that speaks well of him.
That's all I wanted to know.
Another time, then.
Excuse me. No, there's still more.
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing. I know what the game entails. But the indifference to it all.
Oh, yeah. 100% Aenor agrees.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Yeah, anything I should know?
Is there anything I should know?
Creating Inquisition footholds outside Skyhold has strengthened our reputation. People view us as a stabilizing force. We've received a number of recruits eager to pledge themselves to our cause.
Hey, that's good. Excellent. Lovely.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Indeed I do. I have to go speak to Blackwall. Oh, you know he's not going to be happy about this situation. He is a Grey Warden after all. Oh, dear. Your knees are still fine, chicken. You're right.
I heard Corypheus has magic from you elves.
You take that back before I shove it through your teeth.
That's what you'd say, right? If you were with him.
How does that make any sense?
How does any of it? Someone's behind it. Has to.
Again, Aenor is stood right here. The Inquisitor is stood right here whilst this guy's like, the elves are clearly behind it. Oh, God damn it. These racist bastards. What the shit?
We need to head to Adamant Fortress as soon as possible. If there's a chance we can stop Corypheus from destroying the Wardens, we can't let it slip away.
What exactly is in Adamant? I mean, Aenor knows that it's a Grey Warden fortress, but she doesn't really know much besides that.
What do you think we'll uncover in Adamant?
Nothing good. Hearing the Warden's plan was bad enough. Now we'll see it firsthand. Best case, we find a nightmare. Worst, we'll find a nightmare, then die painfully. I still can't believe what they're doing. I thought I understood the order.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a whole ass mess.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
Yeah, what can you tell us about the calling?
Have you been hearing the calling too?
I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me.
Blackwall, that's... He's not outright saying no, but he's not saying yes. And I do think that at this point, because we have seen so many red flags, shall we say, from Blackwall. He said a few things, and, you know, we did find that report in Liliana's office about one Blackwall giving a speech in Valshavan or wherever, somewhere in Orlais. Yet Blackwall then claimed, oh, I was in Ferelden fighting Darkspawn on my own. And it's kind of like, wait, what? This report says you were in Orlais. And we know that the borders were closed. And every other time, you know, because Aenor wants to give the Grey Wardens the benefit of the doubt. She wants to give Blackwall the benefit of the doubt. She views him as a war hero. And every other time, I think she's kind of been able to, you know, think, oh, well, I must have misunderstood what he was saying. Or maybe there's a perfectly reasonable explanation, like, maybe he was in Orlais at the beginning of the Blight, but then maybe he snuck across the border because, you know, one man sneaking across, that's doable. That's pretty doable. So, you know, that would explain why he was, you know, seen in Orlais at the beginning of the Blight, but he could have still been fighting in Ferelden, you know, by the halfway point and through to the end. Yeah, that makes sense. But now, knowing that the Grey Wardens are all hearing the calling, and, you know, hearing kind of Blackwall's response to Alistair and all of that, I do think she'd be looking at Blackwall, not exactly with suspicion, but more so with worry, like, oh god, the Grey Wardens are all hearing the calling. I should pay a little bit more extra attention to Blackwall. And the fact that he's not saying, oh yeah, I've been hearing the calling, it's terrible. Instead he's saying, oh, I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me. It's like, okay, so you're basically saying no, but every other Grey Warden is hearing it. That's weird. That isn't right. That doesn't... If something is affecting the entire order except for one member, that's not normal. That's not right, especially if the calling is connected to the taint, and as we all know, every Grey Warden is tainted. So, you know, what's going on with Blackwall there? Like, what's happening with him? So I do think that Aenor is slightly suspicious of Blackwall now. I don't think she'd ever guess what's going on with him, but I do think she's looking at him like, huh, that didn't make sense. And now that I think about it, there have been other things that he said that don't really make sense. What could that mean?
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
And I don't believe he has anything else to say on the Inquisition.
Yes?
But we'll just check, just in case.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
Yeah, that... I don't think Aenor would consider that a good thing.
What do you think of my advisors?
Liliana is lonely. That's really all I see. All she has is her work. I pity her sometimes, as odd as that may seem.
I mean, Liliana does cut a very solitary figure, and I think Liliana has suffered a lot. There are many reasons that one might feel sorry for her.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Talked with Solus the other day. That man knows all there is to know about everything.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
He always sounds so hostile when he says that, and I never know why. But maybe he wants to talk more, I don't know. I believe... Yeah, we've already read this. This does update, that's why I keep coming back to it. However, we've already read this version of the letter. Alrighty then, with Blackwall spoken to, I do believe that is everyone. Also, I have in my head that Bonnie Sims occasionally gives a quest out, so let's just have a chat with her.
Your worship.
Okay, fair dues.
We'll speak another time.
Of course. Lady Inquisitor.
I think she gives out a war table mission once you have certain perks, but they're all perks from Josephine's tree, so I don't know if Aenor will get that before the end of the game. Because like I said, she'll only start picking from that tree once she's kind of done with everything else. Because she knows absolutely nothing about business or commerce, so I think she's, you know, more than happy to just say, alright, Josephine... Ooh.
He made a difficult decision.
That's because you wouldn't have had family in his way.
I might have had family in the Blight's way.
We all did. Hard to remember that.
Far too hard.
Again, I find it very interesting that sending him to prison wasn't considered merciful, considering that execution was the other option. I mean, I guess, you know, exile, let him live his life, you know, out there somewhere away from Ferelden, but still, people died. People died, and he was never punished for that, you know. Yes, he made a hard decision. Yes, it was in the name of the greater good, but those people deserve justice, you know? Now then, before we head anywhere, let's do a wee bit of upgrading. Also, whilst I remember, because I never use line in the sand. I never use it, so let me take that off there, and instead we'll grab to the death. That's actually useful. There we go. I could upgrade, what is it called? Charging Bull? Yep. Or I could upgrade Pommel Strike. I use Pommel Strike more often, I think. So, let's see. What do we have here? Hits harder and faster. Ooh. Yeah, I prefer that. Lovely. Cassandra. Let's grab some upgrades. Ooh. I feel like Sweet Revenge. Oh, wait, Cassandra doesn't have any points to spend. Whoops. Okay. Sarah, you do. No, actually, you know what? Sarah, I'm going to look up your notes because I can't remember if we had gone through your tree completely yet. Sarah, where you at? Right there. No. Zoom in. There we go. Okay, yeah, we've gotten everything there. And we've gotten everything here. And yeah, everything on this tree as well. So let's start upgrading some of the stuff you have. I think chain reaction. Dorian has nothing. Blackwall has nothing. Oh, Cowl, buddy. Your notes are right there. Okay, we've grabbed okay, so there are optionals on this tree. We could grab this one, but it says it's optional. He has a full bar as it is, so we've grabbed everything there. Okay, in that case, we want to start making our way down to these two. So let me grab that. Vivienne, you have one as well. I guess maybe we were on optionals for you. Yeah, we've grabbed everything there. And so, yep. You can take this. Solus, you have nothing. Varric as well. And Bull, last but by no means least. Okay. Yeah, we could grab him a few things from this tree. Okay, you know what? Let's go down this way. Excuse me. Game. There we go. Coup de grace. Lovely. And back around to Aenor. Good stuff. Now then, let's see. How much time do I have? Only 4 minutes. So, you know what? I'm gonna take care of some war table stuff. Because I think a few people have returned. And then I will bring this episode to a close. And you know what? In the next one, we will go fight Vinsummer. Why not? Why not? She's waiting for us. And it is always rude to make a dragon wait. Okay, everyone came back. Lovely. Deploy Reese and Evangeline. Inquisitor. We are honoured to serve the Inquisition and we will leave straight away. I pray that you defeat Corypheus, whatever he is, soon. It is terrifying to see demons pour into the world, endangering innocent people. And as a medium, I have studied spirits at length. I know many of these poor creatures meant no harm to this world and were drawn into it against their will, corrupted through no fault of their own into something dangerous. I once called such a creature my friend. I lost him in the rebellion and never had the chance to offer forgiveness for the mistakes he made, or help him find his way back safely into the Fade. For the sake of both this world and that of the spirits, I wish you success. Both Evangeline and I will fight tirelessly on your behalf. Yours, Reese. There is a note below, presumably added by Cowl. He remembers. And Cowl has an amulet of power. I presume that's for Cowl at least. Restore the port on the Storm Coast.
Any Venatori activity?
If my agents find anything, you will be the first to know.
Okay, good stuff. Your worship. Work on the port is underway. We trust you will be pleased with the results. Ivor of the Blades. Lovely. And investigate Lord Enzo of Antiva. Sister Liliana. Our agents entered Lord Enzo's home, where they discovered several pieces of correspondence connecting Enzo to the Venatori. Worse, it seems Enzo did more than buy into their philosophy. He's been arranging to send volunteers to Red Lyrium mines. As they took these people from Rialto's poorer, more unfortunate residents, few noticed the disappearances. Our agents were prepared to confront Enzo with the evidence, but he failed to return. We have since learned that he hired a ship to Hersinia in the Free Marches. It seems unlikely that Enzo knew of our presence, but something spooked him. Mason. Liliana has written a note below. Have our agents track Lord Enzo to the Free Marches. His work for the Venatori must not continue. Let us pray the trail does not run cold. Liliana. Alrighty then, let me figure out where I'm sending everyone. Be right back. Okie doke, and I am back. So first things first, expose the double agent. An unknown traitor is lurking in Liliana's closest circle of spies, and she must set a subtle trap to catch the double agent. The planning will take considerable patience, but the Inquisition must purge the enemy spy from its ranks. Liliana says we must move carefully. This traitor is a master of the craft to escape my detection for so long.
Inquisitor.
Next up, Scout Haven's ruins. We've been sitting on this for quite a while. Inquisitor. Per our conversation, I would like permission to send some of the charges to Haven. Our goal is to find any gear lost in Corypheus's attack, check for enemy stragglers, and bring in refugees who have not yet found Skyhold. Lieutenant Cremisius at Closet. Well, I mean, if they haven't found Skyhold yet, then they must be in dire straits. It's been months. Months and months. We have no idea how many enemies remain at Haven. The charges had best go in numbers. Or Josephine, who says, the only way we will bring in refugees is through our allies in Ferelden. After Haven, they are more than willing to help. So this is one of the rare... oh my god, my brain just had a complete brain fart. This is one of the rare times where Aenor is not going to, you know, okay, we're gonna go on our own, you know, we're not gonna ask for help, because here's the thing. What is the likelihood that there's gonna be a ton of enemies in Haven? It has been months. It has been months and months since the attack on Haven. You know, if we're looking for, you know, stragglers, refugees, I think it makes a lot more sense to, you know, send non-combatants. The Chargers are very adept. If there are any enemy stragglers, there probably aren't going to be many. They can take care of that. And, you know, also, we are quite a ways away from Haven. You know, if we send a bunch of soldiers through the Frostbacks, it's going to take a while. But if we already have people there helping, I think this could, you know, aid any, you know, injured, any people who kind of got a wee bit confused, who are still chilling out there. You know, they're obviously going to need help. So I think asking for help from Ferelden, having some local people go up there and, you know, hey, we've got blankets, we've got hot soup. Do you need anything? You know, the Inquisition is coming back for you guys. Like, I think it'd be more helpful in this situation.
At your service.
And now we want to head over to Orlais. Improving morale. Commander, our work continues in the approach. It's a difficult post, but our soldiers are determined to represent the Inquisition as best they can. Morale flags at times, but we manage. Knight Captain Rylan. Josephine would have suggested perhaps a distraction could help. We can see about sending books. They could set up a small library. Liliana says the terrain in the approach is unkind. Our soldiers would be more comfortable if fitted with proper shoes. Liliana and her obsession with shoes. I love it. And Cullen says simple comforts can go a long way, and rations don't lift a soldier's spirits. We can see they have a good meal at the end of the day, and an army does run on its stomach at times. So yeah, making sure they have a nice dinner to come back to, I think that'd really help boost things for them.
To work?
Indeed. Lovely. Good stuff. And with that, I'm going to bring today's episode to a close. In the next one, we go fight Vinsommer. Also, before I forget, Cowl. Is that Cowl? Yeah, of course it was for Cowl. There we go. Yeah. Equip that. And there you go, buddy. Lovely jubbly. And he approves. I bet if we go speak to him now, he'll have something to say about Rhys and Evangeline. I bet. However, we are done with our round of companion chats. In the next episode, we go fight the Vinsommer and maybe make a start on Here Lies the Abyss. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.